Welcome YouTube, and as promised, here's my knock-up version of a solar generator. Now these things, if you buy them from a company, can be very expensive. I mean, I'd say they're overpriced for what they are. You know, they use lithium. I am actually using sealed lead acid because I had these spare from another project I was going to do. But I ended up having to use lithium on that because it was an e-bike, yeah. So I had to go with lithium for more power costs and stuff, yeah. But anyway, this is my box here. This was an old Marshall amp that I was going to throw out. It was broken, and so I took the guts out of it, took out the panel here, and just added my own panel in. Now that's just actually a cardboard cutout with some black tape on it. I'm going to fiberglass it on the inside to make it all solid and better, but it's pretty solid. I mean, get a good belt and it's okay. You can push on the buttons and nothing attached to that one just now, because I'm going to actually add this thing onto the top. I'm going to put 3 of them up here to give you more plugs, you know, 12 volt plugins. But this is just a cheap one. This is only for just testing out, and I think it'll work pretty good. Everything else has worked pretty fine. Also, I'm going to add this thing here, and this goes to your battery into your solar panel. It gives us a nice little plug for plugging in, so when you want to move this thing, you can. Anyway, that's coming later. Now this is pretty heavy because it's sealed lead acid. There's 4 sealed lead acid batteries in there, so it is pretty sturdy. It's not going to fall over or nothing, but it's not too heavy that you can still carry it, you know. Okay, so what I done was I put a 200 watt cheap inverter. It was only about 20 bucks for the cheap inverter. I'll just put it on the front just now and wired it through the back. This will all be changed. I could change this anytime I want. I could put any size of inverter I want in here, to tell you the truth. Anyway, let's get it switched on. Now, we switch it on, and you'll see it does fluctuate because it's sealed lead acid, but it will come up to the estimated 100%. You can turn that to volts, 13.1, which is pretty good, and you can switch it off or on. You don't have to have this running all the time. Okay, so like I said, I've got nothing in that one. That's the main power switch. Now we switch this one on. They were very cheap, these little buttons. Okay, so that turns that on. You heard the doing. That means it's charging this. Now this will run. I had this running for 2 to 3 days, just running the Asus iPad, and yeah, it works pretty good. I mean, as it should do. I also put some lights on the side of this. Now these are very low draw. These are very good. You can run these on all night long, and it will take hardly anything out of this machine. So really good for emergency lighting. Very good for that. Also has the 4 controllers here. I'll show you these lights going in. Other way around, and they work fantastic. I mean, these wee things are great. They're only a couple of bucks each, but it gives you a little extra light if you need them. We all know what these are. Okay, so now we'll take you around the back and show you how I put this together. This is not 100% done yet. I'll explain why. Okay, there's my charge controller. It can take up to about 100 to 150 watt of solar. I've only got 2 10 watters on it now, but even that charges this pretty good, yeah. So let's go right around the back. It's hard to get into. That's 4 lead acid batteries right there. These will be all soldered into position properly before I put the back on it. But yeah, just get you showing that these are 14 amperes, and yeah, my fingernails are a bit dirty because I've been quite busy. Anyway, that's what I've got plugged in here. So nothing too technical, and like I said, the system works great. Show you the lights coming on. These are very bright, and they do a great job at night time. Fantastic. Now, as I showed you before, the draw is down to 97. Now you hear the little fan coming on in this thing here. This also has a button at the side if you don't want to run the inverter but you want to run your plugs here. Just turn that off, you see. Turn it back on, and that's it back on again. Absolutely zero problems, no problem at all. So this is what I've been building. So rather than spend $600-700 on a solar generator, I made this for myself. Now it works out about, they're 14 amp hours in each one. It runs around 680 watt hours, but because it's lead acid you can only use it to 50% of its capacity. So that gives us 340 watt hours of usable power, which is pretty good rating for what it is, yeah. I'm also going to make a smaller version of this with using these little batteries here. They're only 7 amp hour batteries, and yeah, they're pretty cheap. You pick them up anywhere. I'm just going to link them all together like you see here, and I'll do exactly the same on this one but with a smaller version. So it's just to show you where I'm going with this, yeah. It can run up to 200 watts, no problem at all. I'm not sure how long it would last, but you could do the math, judging the watt hours, blah blah blah, you know. That is plugged in here. It runs this, and this works as it should, and like I said, that will run indefinitely. If you put a better charge control in it, you could have as much power as you want coming in. So it just goes to show you, I mean, it cost me about, the dearest part of this whole thing was the batteries. Now, I used them on a different project. Well, I was going to use them on my e-bike that I was building for my wife, but I ended up having to go with lithium for that because it's a higher power draw. It's a 48 volter, so yeah, that was too heavy, yeah. Now this is a solid unit. I mean, it's not too solid. You can still move it around, you know. You can still pick that up, but it won't fall over if you have it in the garden or whatever, yeah. Like I say, it's only got 20 watts coming into it just now, but that charges it really quickly, no problem at all. And if I was to put a 100 watt panel on that, you could essentially just leave this running constantly. The sun will take care of it in the morning. But anyway, this is my rendition. I mean, it doesn't look too bad. I mean, you see right through there, but I'll put a plate on there. I'll put a big fan in the side to cool it down or whatever. Vent these batteries, yeah. But apart from that, I think it's not too bad. I mean, for a first attempt, it's not too bad at all. Let's switch this off. Anyway, I promised you I would show you. So yes, I'll come back up to power again now. Here we go. And that'll regain itself back up to 100% within a few minutes. So it's not a big problem, not a big hassle. It'll go from that 65. It'll hold on this to 65%. You can also switch this off, by the way. You can switch this off. You go to different readings, and you can switch it off, so you don't have to have that running all the time to save some, a little bit less draw, you know. But yeah, it's not too bad at all. And like I said, this is what I've been up to. And if you want to hear more, keep tuned. My name's Crowgen, and I'm signing off. Catch you later, YouTube.